welcome Renee and Sheiko to the stage, and they will talk about caretakers' musical journey through dementia, everywhere at the end of time.
Sorry about that. Oh, can we have it up here? Oh, yeah, okay, cool. I'm just gonna play it. So this is a piece by The Caretaker. It's called Everywhere at the End of Time. So basically it's 6 stages for a total of 6 hours. So basically The Caretaker is a pseudonym made by Kirby Leyland, and it was gradually released throughout 2016 to 2019 in order to kind of imitate the gradual progression of dementia. This was on purpose so that every time you checked back on the music, it would kind of seem like checking back on a family member with dementia. And up here we have all the album covers of each of the stages. So actually, this was very, very popular on the internet, especially on social media sites such as TikTok, which some of you guys might know this from. But it was actually a really popular hoax where basically if you listen to the full 6-hour album in one sitting, you'd go crazy, which I don't think it's true. I tried sitting through it for like 10 minutes and it really felt disorienting. And the name The Caretaker is a reference to the movie The Shining, which this was inspired off of, which is a horror movie. Some of you guys may know it, but basically it deals with the same things of memory degradation and health degradation. And after this whole 6 hours were released, the Caretaker pseudonym basically died and stopped releasing music in order to symbolize the death. So this here is stage 2. Stage 1 is called It's Just a Burning Memory. So as you could hear from that, it was very reminiscent, kind of 1920s, 1930s samples of very nostalgic songs. So it's very upbeat, which you'll see a huge contrast to in stage 2. So stage 2, the first song is called A Losing Battle is Raging. So this is kind of like the self-realization that something's wrong, but they don't quite want to address it yet. So you can hear kind of this shift in mood compared to the first and second stage, and you'll hear the same kind of motifs throughout the entire album of the same melodies, which kind of symbolize the same memories that you see reoccurring, except they get more and more and more degraded. So again, as you progress, each sample will get more degraded. So this is stage 3. So as you can see from the album art, this is the same representation of the flower pot. It's just that here you can barely make out the shape and it's really distorted. So it kind of shows how as you progress through dementia, the same memories you might have might become really distorted as you move on. So again, the audio is really played back and distorted, as you can hear from here. And again, there are some of the same reoccurring motifs that you might hear from earlier stages. This song in particular has a lot of echo, so it kind of feels like you're in an empty hall or an empty rehearsal hall where you can only kind of hear yourself echoing back. So it's very echoey, it feels very isolating, which is kind of paralleling to the experience of dementia, where often it can be very isolating to be in your own brain, forgetting your own memories and not knowing what's real. And again, there's some of the same samples from stage 1, just a lot more distorted. This is stage 4. So stage 4, as you can hear, is barely coherent. Like you can't really make out anything, it's a bunch of noise. But actually, a lot of the noises you hear here are actually the earlier samples that you hear in the earlier stages. So if you listen closely, you'll hear like little snippets of those same 1920s, 1930s kind of jazz snippets. But right now it's so unrecognizable because it's so clipped up and distorted. So again, this kind of shows how memory, because you don't know the context of it and because you're losing so much memory, it seems terrifying because you kind of don't know what's going on. And here you have
this is stage 5. Stage 5 is named Stage 5 Advanced Plaque Entanglements. Stage 5 has the same recurring melodies as 4 does, but they are spliced together and similar to 4, very unrecognizable. They sound like a jumble of sandpaper voices, and like voices or any music is unintelligible, and it represents increasing loss of cognitive function and coherence. And in dementia, people often forget their family members because of the severity of their dementia. This is stage 6, which sounds sort of like stage 5, but you really can't tell if there's any notes or if it's just mostly sounds like white noise. Or if you were to put a microphone out in the wind, that's sort of what it would sound like. Stage 6 is named a confusion so thick you forget forgetting. It represents completely empty memories and barren lack of self, and music kind of speaks for itself, as it sounds really empty and there's like not much music and it's very eerie.
So again, as many of you guys may know, this is an audio that trended a lot on TikTok. So it was very popular because it was this immediate trigger for kind of really unsettling emotions as you could hear it progress. Kirby Leyland himself never mentioned having a connection to dementia, but there's a lot of articles online that say typically people who are in younger generations that are using these social media apps, learn more about dementia that they normally wouldn't have access to information about because of this music. So there's a lot of quotes online of people who, because they're able to hear this music and kind of see a tangible version of how dementia can destroy your memories and just your whole mental being, is just really terrifying. And I think that's something a lot of young people were able to connect to because of this music. So a lot of people who work in dementia care actually really praise this album because of the amount of awareness that came to it because of this music. So again, I think that speaks to the power that music has to spread information about causes that people are passionate about and people might not know about. Like this spread information about dementia. Thank you.